This is Ronnie Live from Toronto with a movie video review, this time of District 9. I saw it a few days ago, and I viewed a couple of reviews on YouTube. I've read some comments, and I can't believe this movie is being praised. I personally really dislike this movie. This was not a good movie in my opinion. I have a right to my own opinion. So, I am going to honestly say this movie sucked. I will have the background of just some of my Human Alliance figures, just for something you to look at instead of this bland white background. You're not going to see my face, so don't ask. Okay, I just have a list of my cons on the movie. I've seen some reviews. I will admit, the last half of the movie, I did like the last half of the movie. But for a 2.5 hour movie to wait halfway through to actually start liking it and getting into the excitement, that's kind of boring, and I didn't like that. The documentary style of the movie, it actually worked, but the excitement, and it was really slow paced until halfway through. As for some of the flaws in the plot, the language. The aliens had their own language, the clicks and stuff. They click and then they'd talk and they'd have subtitles. I understand that they're aliens, it's pretty cool. The thing I don't get, and what people have failed to mention, or maybe if I point this out you might see the movie in a different way. How come the humans can talk English to the aliens, and the aliens understand, and the aliens can click their own language, and the humans can understand, but the humans can't click the language of the aliens, and the aliens can't speak English? You can't understand it without speaking it. So, it's either the aliens understand and speak it, or they don't understand and don't speak it. You can't have your cake and eat it too. And another thing, spoilers, the main plot was to get their gas into their big UFO and go back home. The thing I don't get is that the main story is this big mothership floating over the Africa somewhere. And it floats there for 20 years, and the aliens were brought down and they're put in somewhat of a concentration camp called District 9. And there's a few aliens, some of the main characters actually you get emotionally involved with, so that's nice. But the characters, the aliens, they spend 20 years going through what's left of the garbage that fell off the ship, looking for some alien fluid to make gas for their ship so they can go home. What I don't get is if they spend 20 years looking for this little vial of gas, when 20 years that ship is hovering over it, don't tell me that ship can hover without gas. It's obviously hovering off of something. They didn't just park it in the middle of the air and it stays there. That's a big problem for me. If they're looking for gas, that thing's running on gas for 20 years floating there. So that's a big problem for me, that and the language. And it was a 2.5 hour movie, I believe. It started off like an introduction. I got involved, but then sooner or later it got boring. Kind of got repetitive. And halfway through, it started getting a little better. And then the excitement picked up, and yeah. So halfway through, it was a good movie. The first half is boring and an hour of something I didn't want to watch. If you like the movie, good for you. But this is just my opinion. I really don't like this movie. I've read some comments where it's the best movie of the summer. I can't agree with that. I'd maybe give it 6 out of 10. I'm being generous here. For him, another big thing that was wrong in the movie, in my eyes, was that the little vial of gas, when it sprayed on the main character, who is human, he started getting side effects from being sprayed in the face with the gas. And his arm literally turned into an alien, like, it literally looked like he had an arm on a human's body. If they could have done that a little differently, instead of just putting it full throttle alien arm, just slowly mutating, but it was like a snap. He literally turned alien. That's a little fast for me and a little weird how alien gas can turn you into an alien. Just weird for me. The characters, they had good character development other than the main character, the human main character. His personality changed quite a bit throughout the movie, and you didn't know which one you're going to get. When he popped up on screen, you didn't know which personality. Was he going to be an ass or was he going to be good? So, that's about it. I think I've gone through all my cons, except for one, the alien weaponry, which, another spoiler, can only be used by aliens because of their DNA. It's only DNA activated so that aliens can use it. And in District 9, the concentration camp where they're staying, there's some Africans who are in there. They're drug dealers who sneak in there and they do drug deals. Since the aliens like cat food, they like cat food for no reason. I don't think it was explained. So the aliens trade their weapons for the drugs, which is the cat food. I want to laugh saying drug and cat food. But they trade their weapons for cat food. The thing I don't get, why don't the aliens just use their guns to get the cat food? Just like threaten to kill them and take the cat food. And don't tell me you can spend 20 years on Earth and not think about it. They weren't that dumb. Sure, they were a little wild and a little more on the animal side, but don't tell me you can't do some human things after living around them for 20 years. So that bothered me. Trading weapons, all this high-tech weapons that can pop a human like a balloon. And they're trading that for a little can of cat food. A little can of cat food. Don't tell me the military can't even feed them cat food. They have to trade for their weapons. And if that, why can't the aliens just kill them for the cat food, if it's that important? Well, I think I've made my point. There was some good things in the movie. It was an intriguing plot. Near halfway through, it started getting interesting. But I'm just going to start repeating myself, so I'm going to cut this review here. This was Ronnie live from Toronto with an Untransformers related review. I just have this mild background. Sorry you haven't seen much. Just Skid, Sideswipe, and Bumblebee Human Alliance. So this was my movie review of District 9. Take it or leave it. Please tell me what you think.